opportunity and opportunity. Uh, but obviously, what I'm going to do present, it's a long journey that started way back in 2000 or in 99 or in 2000. There was my dream that there should be a high performance computing facility should be available in Pakistan. And before that, let me introduce that. I am Dr. Muhammad Ali from Pakistan, NED, University of Engineering Technology, Karachi. It is one of the oldest and is a 100 years old university and one of the oldest engineering university of Pakistan. And it was established in 1912 in when there was no partition between Pakistan and India, actually under the Bombay. And afterwards, the partitions it becomes a Pakistan in Karachi University, and then now the NED University of Engineering Technology. So I am actually currently a director of a National Center of Big Data and Cloud Computing there, and a professor of a Computer and Information System Engineering Department, and currently also acting as a HOD, the chair of the department. Same. Now coming back, my dream. And from my graduation part, I was interested to say that there should be a high performance computing facility that should be there in Pakistan or in obviously to facilitate the researchers. And the journey started the way back in 1999 2000. In 1999 2000, I was just working with the clusters of the Beowulf cluster at that time. That was having the 15 to 16 nodes and then just combining them and making available for the cluster computing there, the Beowulf clusters. And afterwards, that cluster converted into a high performance clusters and then the great computing, now up to the cloud computing. Obviously, what I must say that if you have a will, then luck favors you, and the same thing happens to me. Initially, when I started, I talk about the high performance computing. Obviously, you know that there's a really a white elephant. Obviously, you need a huge amount of the investment to this, and especially in Pakistan, like country, there's a very much difficult to have such a big investment and get ready to HR or the administration to we are willing to have such a strong financial grounds to establish these things. But the travels continues, and I along with the team were able to get the funding in 2018. Way back in 2018, for the Pakistan government, there was an initiative of building a national centers of excellence. I, along my team from NED, applied for the national centers of big data and cloud computing, and we won it. And there was a huge funding that actually expedite that my dream that to comes true, that we can be able to establish a well-furnished or well-equipped cloud infrastructure at there. So for all the experience that I had on my team, I had in the last 20 years or 10 years, that converted into a cloud that one. Now I can say, and I'm going to present you that the cloud that we is able now working seamlessly 24/7. It's a pure GPU based computing. And this service is now being provided to the many of the academics, students, researchers, and the professionals to Pakistan, either from the university or from the industry side. Obviously, though, it is not as big as that of the others country have a cloud infrastructure. But the thing is that, and for which I am here to that this cloud setup can be extended over the multiple NERNs, national. We talk about PERNs, that we have also Pakistan, obviously Pakistan Education Research Network we have. The other education research network can be extended there. And this cloud facility, what I dream, I said earlier in my first introduction on the fellowship side, that is my dream that this APAN network should be worked on more exhaustively to have a cloud infrastructure, for at least especially the storage or other infrastructure, other application as a service and so on. So this is one of my thought that actually forced me to come here. And now thank you once again for providing me the opportunity that I am now able to present it in a very cloud working group that obviously is very close to my heart, and I want to be a part of this group in the future. So let's start. If I am started with this one, simply this is the website from where actually I'm just not going to presentation, I'm just going to a live demo directly. And obviously what I will show it is all about on the website available, so that actually help us to understand what actually is all about. It is all about NCBC, that you can have a NAD and it is going to be have a website once. This is the Exascale Open Data Analytics Lab. Actually, is a lab name we have under the National Center, and this is the NCPC website, and we are claiming, and obviously we are very confident, and we are very thankful to obviously to our government, to our education network, they're providing the opportunity. This is the National Center. We were the first high data engine. I will go directly jump, keeping the other things aside, with the real-world computing that we have that I'm going to explore. This is a separate website available. We term this as a V world, the virtual world. V stands for virtual and review world. This is the Pakistan first high analytical performance analytical engine. We called it so. It provides every nearly because of the cloud infrastructure provides capable of having all different types of the solutions there. And you will see there, I will present there. And this supports complete GPUs as well. So these are all accessible here. I'm going to directly jump to the access. More information is here and available on the website. You can go through it later on. This is the building on which actually this is established. There is a tier 3 infrastructure in this building, and we named as a National Center of Big Data and Cloud Computing. And that's why I love this building. That's why I place it in on the main stream on that one. We can go access to directly with a base, and you will be given a password for anyone who is going to be logged in. Obviously, for the users, we are given the passwords. This password obviously have some certain packages for the professionals, for the industry. We charge them. For the academics, we have a very little bit of chunks of amount that we charge. And for most of the NAD students, we actually provide them free. Just you go log in there. There's a login screen. Let's see. So continue. Once you logged in, you will find this tools lab. Actually, the most interesting thing about is that we provide two different types of the instances, two different types of the virtualization. One is the like Azure and Google do, the operating systems or the desktop as a service. The other thing that I do, I am very proud of to do, is an application as a service. We are used to work on the Office 360. We have Word on the Acrobat readers. These all are 60. Means you don't want to install, but these services are not as much available with respect to the applications. So we have providing, we are our analytical engine providing both. Means the cloud instances as an application and the cloud instances as a platform. For example, for the first one, this is all about this. These are the virtual instances. These are the instances. They have been configured with the different types of the configuration as per the others, Amazon or other AWS do. So we have a tier 1, we have a machine 1, we have a P2 machine, we have named it as a silver machine, gold machine, and platinum machine. Silver machine is with the less computing power and the less as compared to the gold and then the platinum. And then we started with the V platinum and the V gold as well. V platinum means is with the GPUs, and the V cloud is with the GPU. So we have different options. Besides being actually we are doing take care of it. So if any one of the demands comes in, so we can make a very as per demand configuration machine as well. So this is also option available for it. So another thing that I would like to highlight, other than that is an application as a service and as a service, the thing is that we can offer you multiple types of the operating system. And that is actually, we can say there's a strength, one of the strength. And what we have done and why we have done, because there many of the researchers comes in that I'm used to work on CentOS. I'm working on the Linux of this flavor. I am on the working on a Windows, so I need Windows. So there's a very difficult scenario for the researchers, because every researcher is working on their own domain, and they don't, and you can't say that you have to change operating system. Okay, no, sorry, sir, I want to be on SIP. And this was the most difficult part for us, to make all the different operating system available on a single platform. See, we have a Ubuntu, we have a desktop, we have a Windows, and we have a CentOS. Just Ubuntu. One of the important, it took around a month or 2, 3 to 4 months of efforts to get this Sister, what happens? So I think this is the Ubuntu. Get it? Or I have already logged in. This is the Ubuntu stage, and you can see this is the Ubuntu. I've already logged in there. This is one of the machine. One can work on this one without any problem. Similarly, if you are interested to work on CentOS, this is the CentOS available. This is CentOS. You just have to change. Similarly, if you are interested with the Windows, then there's all the Windows with the virtual machine and so on. So, and we are very open for other operating systems as well. We always continues to try different types of the operating system, and for that we really need to write the parsers and the compilers and other thing stuffs. There's a great research work that is going to in background. The other thing after that one is that the application as service. For example, there are a number of applications here. Some of our we have considered the licensed one. For example, started with the MATLAB. These are MATLAB as instances. Here you have MATLAB. You don't have to install. You don't have to bother about the version. Just place it, execute it, and it's going to be 24/7 for you. You can access your MATLAB code execution from your mobile, from anywhere. This is the thing that, and obviously being a researcher myself, and obviously I consider the researchers demand. Now, obviously the high performance computing, and these are all backed by GPUs machines. Yeah, we are now going to upgrade for the A GPUs. Right now we have a NVIDIA T4. Then we have estimated that in the next 2 or 3 months we will upgrade to the A4 machine learning GPUs as well. So similarly, you can go keeping the researchers demand. You can say here we have a Spider. Most of the I think working on the Python. Most of the working that have to. So obviously you can make the environment available and just. Similarly, we also have done with the open source Octave. Octave is a parallel version, open source version of MATLAB. Obviously, MATLAB is an expensive one, is a licensed one. So just to demonstrate that even this open source, this open source software is capable to be installed on this analytical engine to meet your requirements. And this is the only some software that is being showed because of my login. Other logins have a different applications as well. If you have obviously, if you are just enrolled with a certain application, so you will be visible only for that one. This is my login, personal login. So I have logged in with this application. But you can now imagine that this system is capable of installing and maintaining the proprietary applications as a service. Similarly, the open source application as a service. I have just demonstrated you all this. And the other thing, even if I continue, there's an Octave one has been done. You can see the PowerPoint. This is for our experiments and the RStudio. I know most of you people know that RStudio is working. If you want to compare, this is as an instance. Enjoy it simply. You don't have to bother about the installation and that stuff. If you have a software, just give it to us. If you have proprietary software, if you have a licensed software, open source software, just request us. And this is the idea that it is doable. This is have been done in Pakistan. This have been done at NLD. This have been done with my team. Now, what I want to expand it to the Asia Pacific regions using this platform. We can easily, we have to just simulate it. We have to just now, it don't require such experience or the research now. The only idea is that this can be duplicated, this can be replicated to the other sites, and then these sites can be connected together. Then we have a multiple node because these two clusters have two sites. One is a disaster recovery site and one is a Karachi NLD. We have placed it. So this can be extended to multiple sites. And okay, right now, initially, we may think that we require a huge infrastructure. No. Huge investment. No. The idea is that, okay, if you have a limited infrastructure available, high performance infrastructure available with your university, with your country, somewhere, just out of them, you have a multiple, release one and just try to connect with this one. Try to get this cloud be standardized, or cloud can be extended to the multiple nations, and to help. Or beside this can be useful, is available on the internet. One can use it from anywhere, but owning on something is different. Using something is different. So I'm not here for the selling of it out. I'm here to make a part of them. I have an offer that I am ready to share my expertise. I am ready to share this structure. What you need from me, I need from your side, from the class, is just an infrastructure and a step that can be done. Me and my team is ready to help you and to extend this cloud infrastructure. This is from my side. If you have any questions, so please. And it is accepting whether it's just a researchers think about one thing. Get, I am working on the Ubuntu, I am working on the CentOS, I required this one. And even some of the researchers are there that actually don't require to change the software version as well. This happens sometimes. So a new versions comes in, but the researcher says, oh no, my code belongs to the older version, just do it. I am just, this is capable of doing this. So what we required as a researcher, as a practitioner, as an industry, even in the, that environment that seems that is customizable for me only. And keeping this in mind, we try to develop this one. And this is our 4 to 5 years effort that we are able to have. So
we are funding organization actually for research. So how can facilitate for our researchers to give an account as a funding organization?
Can we give accounts for our researchers to use this platform based on their application requirement, whether they need whatever WhatsApp or what other application?
Yes, for the users, this is available. One can easily, you can register it, you can make a request it, and you can, and if you want to become just a user, that means you have to pay for it. It's no problem. This is a very seamless version. You just write an email, we will give you the details. Just pick one of the solution that you want to, we will give you a code, and then within no time you will be given access to that one. All the billings is done in the monthly basis, on a monthly basis. We are not on the. But one thing is that thing is that if you have some infrastructure available, to become a part of us, help us to become a part of us. We can handshake it. It will improve the infrastructure. That is a business, one of the business model. That okay, fine, infrastructure is yours, expertise are us.
Yes,
let's go ahead. This is also doable, and actually this will also help us to make a HR available for this one. What actually I seeing from the last 10 years, specifically high performance computing or pair programming, people are reluctant to go. People demands it, but there are very less number of people of students who are eager to work on it. They are actually, they want to be a software developer, fine, network engineer, fine, good to have. But going inside of that and to just work on that, to build a cloud, that actually this will help us to just.
But the application side, we have to have our own licenses.
Yes, that actually for this reason, what actually we do, what I have showed there, we have a MATLAB open source and proprietary. So when we have such things, we can say the people that if you want to save money, use the license version or open source version. Ultimately, if I am purchasing a license, this cost has to be borne by the user. Ultimately, if you are interested, if some user is interested, of course, if they want to use the MATLAB, okay, go ahead. So obviously, what the license I have purchased, I will cut down this license and give to the pass it to the users. That's different thing. But at the same time, being the ground reality, knowing the ground reality, the researchers does not have so much amount of funding available. They have very limited funds. So we can pitch them, or we can at least introduce them. This is an open source. You can use that in source Octave. So, and this is only one thing. There are multiple. In case of LS, Fluent, analysis, there are a number of softwares available. Usually too. So.
Thank you. It's a nice platform for the researchers. I ask questions about how many users at a time can use your systems.
Very interesting question. Obviously, I have already shared my limitation. Right now, I can accommodate 50 users simultaneously, 50 concurrent users. And personally, I just, because I'm just here opening my heart, I'm not here to just discuss 50 users, but we can take up to 100 users, because not all the 100 users remain at the same time line sign on. So concurrently 50 users are viable. And then if 100 users there are, no problem. Obviously, what I have witnessed, especially in Pakistan environment, in the day, in the night, we usually go with a low consumption. In the night, in the day, from especially from 10 to 5 or 10 to 6, they're going to be higher. Then it means if we have a change timing in the regions and so on, so we can easily accommodate.
Okay, I think 50 users is quite acceptable and very fantastic.
Yes, so
solution as well.
obviously it really costs a high cost, and right now I'm going to put into a 200 millions more in it, PKR, in Pakistan rupees, 200 million. Obviously, you can convert into dollars, so it would be like a peanuts. And in terms of high performance, is a peanut. But what now we are going to extend it, we are going to upgrade it with the latest GPU versions. And it has been tendered and it will be upgraded in the next 2 to 3 months. And now we are getting another NVM based Sen NVM to make the system more faster. Now we are upgrading the system to all NVM, means fast booting, fast accessing, and fast storage area network. So this will actually make our we can say the cloud more reliable, further reliable. Okay. And the backup, we also take care of backup policy. Always the sessions take care back of monthly basis, weekly basis, on a daily basis. And we have two different type of options, that if you want that your system or your instance will be backup, then you have to give the privileges to us. Otherwise, if you are doing something on your VM, so we don't have to be care about. But we take the snapshot of the overall instance. So within the instance, what you are doing, to we really ensure your privacy as well.
So another questions.
Please.
So can you give me an idea about the estimated budgets for the server configurations and to set up these things into our own premises servers? Estimated budgets?
It totally, actually, it can be worked out. Right now, initially, if I say as much you can do, it would be better.
Minimum.
That's actually, and all the people, actually, you are all from the cloud computing or high performance background, there's a white elephant, literally. And after every 1 or 2 months, you get, oh, you are using this one, or this is obsolete. Upgrade yourself. This is a condition. But we can discuss it. How much, what are the requirements based on the GPU? Really, you want to make this type of a system or a dedicated system. Sometimes dedicated systems are generally low cost, that you are just related not to upgrade yourself to the cloud computing. You are just reluctant. You are just mentioning that it's fine to have a one class of a user to entertain. That's MPICH based, or simply an MP based, or simply GPU based machine learning. So that solution might be cheaper, but making a system more and more generalized, so that actually makes it costly.
Okay,
we can sit and work.
Yes, we can.
Obviously, this is a idea that actually we can talk about.
Okay, thank you,
sir. Please.
I'm sorry, I missed the first few minutes. Notebooks or Jupyter Labs in this environment?
No.
Okay.
You can use that, but if you have for example, you have a VM with your instance, and you can have an internet connected, then you can use it.
Yeah.
It is very much like a normal computer that you use.
My question was going to be, how do you handle those multiple dependencies in Conda or Anaconda for Jupyter? But if you don't run it,
yes, this is it.
Moot point. Thank you.
Yes, this. Because once you logged into the system, it is very much like a normal operating system. So it means directly connected to that one, you can upgrade it. And one thing that actually is that if what has academy is in taking control of this such things and this, so that actually help to amend the system. Obviously, there are a number of things that cannot be done on a Azure or AWS. You can force them. You can't make up multiple parallel access. They actually started to see or restrict yourself. What are you doing and so on. They have a lot of restrictions. So and we need an environment where we can Do something experiment. We can train ourselves. One of my statement that I usually say, we are losers because we are users. We want to be inventors. Literally. I usually ask one question from my students. How many people there are? They say 6 billion. How many operating systems there are for a mobile phone? Only one. Why? Why we cannot create our mobile phone? Why we cannot do it? I'm not saying we should have something in parallel technology that actually help and make a competition. So,
Any other question? Questions is okay.
How are you handling users moving their data into this environment?
so for this one, we have simple dual applications. Number one is the open source. That's we are using the Red Hat operating systems and the open source instances. And second is the this is the vWorld, the virtualization software that we have. There's a built-in software. That's
Is there a graphical front end?
all graphical work. For example, I just showed you. You can just pick, drag and drop the information.
Oh.
For example, there's a notepad I've just opening here. You can make a copy and paste from the desktop and so on. Continue. No problem. It's just completely drag and drop.
Okay.
I can show you this one, that one. Okay, just go with the. You can go with the MATLAB as well. Just reopening of the MATLAB. Okay, this is a MATLAB open. For example, you can make a something. You have a. This is a MATLAB. So obviously, this will be typing one. This will not be a drag and drop. Will allow you. For this one, where it is. This is the word is also MATLAB opening. For example, coming here. This is a notepad previously is opening. Octave Community Service. Just close it down. I have opened a lot of things. So, for example,
Sorry, I asked you to do a live demo in the middle of the presentation.
Yes.
As possible.
yes, always faster. Drag and drop.
Okay.
I got it. Even you can place a lot of data up to gigabytes of our data.
Okay.
You can no better data from there. And every user has a separate storage. For example, you logged in, it's a different storage. Obviously, I logged in, I have a different storage, and that can be increased or decreased as per requirement.
Another question from the audience. Anyone like to share anything?
So, thank you for my side.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So can you share your contact information?
Yeah, sure. I'm just sure. Should I leave the Google, the Zooms? Or actually, where is the one?
Yes.
Yes, I should have belong. Leave me. Yes, I have left. Thank you once again for the patience listening.
Anyone like to share anything or any comment from the audience or from the remote participant about the cloud working group? If not, then that's the open discussion. As I mentioned in the beginning, that's the objectives of the working group. Yeah. Of course, it has to be adapted to the requirements or to the development from the community. Yeah.
Eric's mentioned that we seem to have our own national deployments, but we don't have anything that's APAN wide at the moment. In Australia, we're looking at a number of different ways to do this. We've got large internal clouds that we have running within our universities. We've got national research clouds. We connect into the Asia Pacific Research Platform. But one of the challenges that I'm kind of seeing is the requirement for data storage, and more particularly for data findability. Often we tend to work in kind of national silos where we could be sharing a lot more data between ourselves, particularly in areas like climate and weather, population, disaster management, a number of the areas that the APAN community is really desiring. We also heard it in the last meeting in Nepal of the growing need for high performance computing capabilities, but front-ended with easy to use ways to get into it, which lowers the barrier to entry for kind of new researchers coming in. In Australia, we're kind of following a similar approach that we've built kind of contained scientific environments which are discipline based. So we put all the biological tools and genomics tools into one environment. We've got a geophysics, weather, climate environment. We've got a high performance physics environment. And we're seeing a lot more coming up in the genomic space, which is really concerning us in terms of the amount of data storage that's going to be required. And also the security requirements that we're going to need to put in place for the most personally identifiable information that any of us have. Can I open the floor to what challenges other people have in this area? How we as an APAN community could work together, what you would see as the foundational elements that we could be putting in, particularly with the more developed countries, supporting our more developing countries who are just up and coming into these communities and often have quite difficult funding challenges that they've got to get past. So I'd like to open that to anybody have any thoughts on any of these subjects?
Yeah. Thank you, Andrew.
Inviting for this special program. So looking at this, I'd like to get because comparing to your culture, there are a lot of differences and similarities also there. But we thought, especially we have a national research cloud for Sri Lanka. Since Learn is there, but Learn, as I mentioned you earlier, they are only providing networking facility. But we are lacking of having a facility like Professor demonstrated cloud platform. Yeah, we can, for example, NSF is spending a lot of money to get the data analytical licenses like MATLAB. It's a very cost for us, and renewing also very costly. But having a facility like that, we can give to our researchers. We are ongoing researchers, nearly 300 researchers are connecting with NSF. So they need every time new license of analytical software and instruments. For the analytical instrument, we found a solution recently. We developed a national instrument database to share all the R&D and university laboratory instruments available in the country. So now we are now all universities and R&D institutions now registered, and they are uploading the information so that in future NSF and as a government also not willing to give grant for purchasing of analytical instrument in future if it is available to hire in the other institution. So likewise, we want to have a similar platform for NSF and cloud facility, research cloud. It's costing data, as I mentioned in the session, and platform as you mentioned, the disaster management raw data and say climate data and maybe scientific data in agriculture especially. So those data are now available in printed mode, sometime in the desktop in Excel
whatever the institution they belongs. But to a developed country, we need to have some kind of more advanced mechanism to store and access this information. So because when the change the system, institutional policies, the government policies, everything get changed. So we have to start from the beginning. Again, the new government will bring new projects, but again, duplicating the previous efforts again. So since we never been into the as a developed country, so that because of this policy changes and everything. But if we have a data, what we done for the last 2-3 decades in one platform, then it will never happen. Then the repeating will never happen. So we can use the existing data and we can guide the policymakers. No, don't invest on these projects. We have already done these data are available, information are available. These are the researchers who done these researches. So those kind of collaborative platform there is not available. That's why we are insisting every time. By looking at today's presentation, we are so happy that other countries are doing this. So we want to have kind of, especially we need some exposure on this, how other countries are working, what are the facilities and system have been developed. So as a national foundation, we have no limit. Actually, our mandate is to facilitate the entire R&D community in Sri Lanka. Having our mandate is that the government body, main government body to facilitate R&D in the country. So that I think looking at these networking opportunities and facilities in how other countries use their valuable data centralized, and even they are not sharing among their institutions, they are willing to share it at the regional level as well. So it's a miracle for us. Looking at this, actually, we hope to work with you. Please, we'd like to hear about your case studies and how you worked and how you go and develop these facilities. And those things are actually, we are really interesting to get into. Otherwise, it's very difficult for us, our country, to self-study, learn, and implementation is very difficult otherwise. Thank you.
This community is great. Everyone is happy to share.
Exactly.
So everyone is happy to share in our community. The basis of it was originally the National Research and Education Networks, just getting the wiring together. The organisation's changed from that over the last 10 years to be far more application focused at a higher level with working groups like this. I suggest the Asia Pacific Research Platform Working Group sessions, that would be very interesting for you. There's kind of a mix here between the engineering of how you engineer the services, and you get the recipe for doing it. But we can also give you some suggestions in terms of how to best justify the funding case to your government. As you exactly mentioned, having the data consolidated brings massive national benefits. You need to convince the government that there's going to be a payback on that investment in terms of national development or economic development. It's something we all struggle with, trying to get money out of our governments. Does anyone else have anything or areas they'd like to raise in the discussion?
So I wanted to ask, what does the cloud community and the HPC community in Asia, Australia think about collaborating with the research software engineering community? Because I found like where research software engineering has pioneered in the UK, people like these two communities are very closely related and they exchange ideas, exchange resources. So what is the thought about it? And are you all reaching out to the research software engineering community in Asia, Australia? So yeah.
Well, I think in the last 2 or 3 years, we've started to see more convergence of the HPC and cloud and data environments. As you said, the research software engineering is actually the key thing to make this work. As engineers, we can connect all this stuff up and make it available, but without that software platform, the expertise in terms of making it easier for researchers to actually get into these environments without having to be computer science graduates. A biologist doesn't care about all of these computery things. They just want to bring their genome sequencing. They want to do a particular alignment or a particular task. That's something we're trying to focus on, trying to make life easier for those researchers so they can make better advantage of the national investments that we've made. Yes, we certainly welcome any collaboration. We're all into using open source software and we're all into sharing our open source software. So, yeah, contribute, get those requests in. If you don't like the way something's done, feel free to jump in and write it and fix it. That's kind of the nature of our open source and research and education communities.
The same way of collaboration, there is a upcoming unconference, RSC Asia Australia unconference, and we are also, so I am the co-founder of RSC Asia. So if anybody is interested, we are also offering scholarships and microgrants to attend the unconference. It's online in September. I've made an announcement on the HOVA app, so please feel free to share it with your networks, colleagues, students. Yeah.
Thank you. My
Both of them?
yeah. Anyone? Any comment? As I mentioned that the working group in APAN, that's for collaboration, because together we can achieve more, as I mentioned. In my center, in our experiences, we've been experienced the support or the driving by the user community. For example, the infrastructure in our center has been upgraded in order of magnitude in the last 20 years. Yeah, because of the requirements from the WCG collaboration and also other scientific computing. In Australia, as I see, there are so many new sky survey projects, astronomy. I think that's also part of the driver for the high performance networking around the world in your country. Yeah, that's also a very good example. I believe such example will be happening in all our partners in your countries in the next few years. And that's the best way, yeah, to work together to get with the service provider and user community, and also to improve your infrastructure. Yeah, I think that's the best way. Yeah. So in the future, we welcome all the APAN partner to share your case study to provide input how to build up the capacity together with all the partners. Yeah. So if 2 sessions is not enough, then I can request more. Yeah. For the collaboration.
Yes. Between APAN meetings as well.
Yeah.
There's Zoom capability, all of that's available from APAN. So there'd be no cost if you wanted to organise a meeting or a training or, please just let us know. Yeah, we're happy to share. So.
If there is no other comment, then allow me to share something. Yeah, more things. Yeah. Recently, we are supporting the machine learning enabled analysis, but honestly, our center is just a very small team. Yeah, just less than 15 full-time engineers. So we cannot do anything. We don't know the domain knowledge of all the disciplines. So the first thing we can support is to help the user community. If they already have their machine learning codes, we can support their codes could make better use of the computing efficiency in our center. Yeah, no matter using GPU or CPU by the parallel computing or the big data transmission and analysis. That's what we can do right now. The second thing, we can provide the containerization or image package for the users so that the application could be easier to deploy to other resources. That's what we can do, yeah, right now. So the other thing about the infrastructure is that we can try to upgrade our computing resources. For example, the new generation of GPU. Yeah, if we can together to request more funding, yeah, and also to enrich our data and the storage services, of course, including the networking resources as well. Yeah.
See from NVIDIA.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Yeah.
if someone's on about GPUs, he's the man of us.
Yeah. So that's the model we working together with the protein structure biologists, the cryo-EM community in Taiwan, the physics and astronomy, and also computational chemistry groups, yeah, together. Yeah. Another aspect is about the data center. If you like to operate your own facility, now the most pressing thing is about energy saving. Yeah, that's a big thing. Yeah, so we have a project in our center now. We just 20,000 CPU core, the 200 GPU things. Yeah. So the efficiency optimization of our data center is a very, very essential for a center like us. So in addition, apart from those hardware things, how to improve the efficiency of the coolings and also the power systems, we are also we build up the monitoring and control systems to collect the data from all the things, from the power system to the air conditioning system to the computer systems in every 10 seconds. Yeah, collect all the things. And then to do the monitoring, to analyze if there's anything abnormal. Yeah. And then try to make this process automatically. That's the basic way to improve the efficiency. Yeah. So that's what we are doing. The next phase will be in the application level to monitor how the application making use of the resources. If there's anything wrong, for example, the job occupy thousands of CPU, but the CPU utilization is very, very low. Yeah, then we should kill such jobs. Yeah, and to save energy and also to save the cost. For them, that's just an example. Yeah, that's also our experiences. So if you are interested, then we can discuss, and also maybe that's what we can discuss in the future APAN meeting. So that's all from me. So Hiroki-san, if there's anything. Hiroki is also one of the co-chair. Yeah. Yeah. If there's nothing else, then I think we can end the second session, end the cloud working group meetings in this week here. Yeah. Of course, you are welcome to have discussion offline during this week. Thank you so much for your participation. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. The meeting ends here. Yeah.